Hey guys, before this video starts, I just want to say thank you for 500 plus subs. It means a lot to me, especially those who stuck around from the start. Also, content warning, this video will have spoilers for not only BFDIA, but as well as BFDI and BFB. So, with that said, enjoy the video. Hey guys, I'm Gumball, and today we're going to talk about something I would have never guessed to come out of my mouth in a million years. The recent BFDIA episode is actually good. Now, before you BFDIA fans go to the comments saying, "What are you talking about? Modern BFDIA episodes are the best." I actually haven't been watching modern BFDIA episodes. I think I watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes and thought, I'm not gonna watch this season. In my opinion, the new BFDIA is too modern for it to continue from the old ones. I know it's not 2015 anymore, but they could have at least stayed consistent with the humor, and the new episodes rely so much on old references for its humor. And then there's the lore perspective of it. I actually don't remember that much of how bad the lore was, except for one instance. The one example I have is that in one of the episodes, I don't remember who was eliminated, but someone was eliminated. Purpleface came in, and I think it was Yellowface who put him in a middle box. You know, the do not open purple inside box. I hate this lore part because of how far that time jump is, and I know this part was just because they need to put some kind of lore in there so people can be like, OMG, it's that one thing from that one thing. I know it sounds like I'm hating on the creators, but I'm not. I respect the creators a lot because they made up most of my childhood. I guess I'm saying that as a bit of a confusing reason for that to happen. Anyways, I'm just gonna get to the reason why you clicked on this video. BFDIA 13. When I first got the notification, I wasn't planning on watching it because I have the interpretation of every new BFDIA episode is bad. But when I saw a poll titled, "Did you like BFDIA 13?" I wasn't really surprised when everyone said yes. It's pretty common for people to love a new episode. Then I checked the comments, and this one comment changed my mind. Okay, I couldn't find the original comment, but I found comments from the poll that is kind of the same premise, so I'm just going to read those. I am shocked at how good this episode is. I usually don't like BFDIA episodes, so this one is a massive standout. First time I really liked a BFDIA episode since 5E. It's generally teapot quality. Never expected that. It was probably the best episode out there, no exaggeration. So I watched it thinking it was going to be an okay episode, but when I finished it, it made me feel something. I don't really know what it was, but it was something. And that's what inspired me to make this video. I'm not going to summarize the whole episode, as I'm guessing most of you OSC fans already watched it. Instead, I'm going to talk about the parts that I liked. In this episode, we got to see the inside of the LOL, and I was so relieved when I saw the BFB contestants having their old assets. However, I wish they gave some of the contestants different voices than the ones they get in BFB/Teapot, because some of the characters like Lollipop still have their old voices from their auditions in BFDI. Heck, they even gave Cake a different voice. It's just a bit confusing on how some characters have their modern voices and some characters don't, unless they make lore like Lollipop didn't getting speech therapy or something. I didn't expect much to come out of Cony retrieving Pin, as it was just Cony going to help Pin escape from the underground realm. On his way there, he stumbled upon the Berry Forest Deciduous installated, which is a decent lore placement. It shows how it looked before BFB, and it makes sense in this context as it probably grew a lot over time. The only thing confusing is how the lava didn't engulf the place when Cony kept digging down. Anyways, he grabbed Pin and started climbing up to the surface again until he realized that she couldn't get out. The contestants in the LL saw this and was scared of the situation, so they found a way to escape. This will be important for later. When it looks like Cony got her out, he looked over just to see the same pushpin that Ruby and Needle recovered. This was the first moment that made me feel emotional. Cony cared so much for Pin, and after her elimination, he so desperately wanted to see her again. Though there's one thing that I can't piece together. The pushpin. How I see it, the pushpin could mean one of two things. Either Pin was a hallucination that Cony saw, or the pushpin is what truly represents Pin now. I believe it's the second one, but there could be something I'm missing from the past episode, so if there is context to this, please tell me in the comments. Editor Gumball here. So I rewatched the episode and Pin mentioned the pushpin as her lifeless body. So Pin is actually the pushpin and she was just hoping the plan would get her limbs back. Anyways, on to the next section. This is the important information I was talking about earlier. Now the new assets come in. When the contestants in the LO were flying in the sky, Gelatin was messing with a machine in the science museum called the Enchantment Eloiser. He aimed it at the LO, and when it hit, the old contestants got their new assets. I guess the others did too, but they really didn't change much. I like the way they did this because they found a way to recycle a somewhat useless place and make it connected to the lore. I'm also glad the dialogue wasn't self-aware, like, we should definitely be in a season with our new looks or something. It was actually a pretty normal conversation, and they kind of glossed over it like it was nothing. The last thing I wanted to talk about was the last scene. When Firey was walking back to Recovery Center to recover Gelatin with Ice Cube and Rocky, he looked up at a tree. I cannot speak. The last thing I wanted to talk about was the last scene. When Firey was walking back to Recovery Center to recover Gelatin with Ice Cube and Rocky, he looked up at a tree for a moment until he caught up with the others. After they recovered Gelatin, the rest started walking away, but Firey stayed behind to recover none other than Leafy. When Leafy was recovered, Firey ran away from the HPRC and left Leafy wondering who recovered her. Editor Gumball here again, just to say that she knew it was Firey as his flame light was glowing. Thank you to this comment for mentioning that because I probably wouldn't have known that. This was my second emotional moment. It works perfectly as well because Firey is never mad at Leafy for stealing Dream Island and all he wanted was her friendship. He was the only one that cared for her and missed her. It was just such a good scene, and now I'm wondering how the next episode is going to play out. So, overall, BFDIA 13 is a great and probably one of the best episodes from the new era of BFDIA. It was able to tie up some of our questions perfectly without having a confusing, pointless reason. So, am I going to watch modern BFDIA episodes? No, that episode was an outlier compared to the others, but I will say that the writing has gotten better. Or maybe that's just correct for this episode, then the rest will go back to their original writing. Though I generally hope they do more episodes like this. Less modern humor, more thought out reasonings, and of course, more content of the objects we adore. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know this is a bit more different than my regular long form content, but tell me if you like this kind of style because this is fun to make. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. See ya!